Welcome to Plan Schedule Management process under the project schedule management. This is an important process because this is the process where you try to define your policies, procedures, guidelines on how you would like to manage the entire project schedule and control your project schedule. This will provide you the basic governance of how to handle the project schedule of your project. This process is grouped under planning process group in the project management process templates. So in the PMBOK, under plan schedule management, they have defined several inputs that is required to perform this process, certain tools and techniques, and the output of this process. As the first input, the project charter would be an important input of your plan schedule management. It will give you a high level scope of the project, and it will also give you a high level summary milestone of the schedule, such as the start date and the expected end date of the project. And also another important input would be the scope baseline, which will give you the entire scope plus the WBS and the WBS dictionary. Also, it is important to understand as an enterprise environmental factor the organization culture, since the organization culture will have a direct impact to the schedule of your project. Sometimes if you want to do a government project, an organization culture is very important because due to laid backness of the government's procedures as well as the red tape, you will have to factor the inefficiency into the project schedule when you're developing the project schedule. And also it is important to identify the resource availability of your resources and whatever the project management software tools that will be used, and also any published information of the resource productivity level so that you can take into the efficiency factor when you're assessing the activity durations. Also, it is important to identify the historical information of such similar projects that you are currently handling so that you can take any input, any lessons learned into the in preparing the project plan schedule management. As tools and techniques under this process, it will obviously be on the expert judgment, you as a project manager, and meetings with your stakeholders, the sponsors, and any other project stakeholders, so that all together with you as the project manager, you can develop the process and the guidelines that is required that you to handle the project schedule during this said project. The outcome of this process would be the schedule management plan. This will give you the basic guidelines of how you would handle the project schedule during the entire process of the project, including monitoring and controlling. It will define the scheduling method that you are going to use to this particular project that you are handling currently, whether you will be using the waterfall method or the agile adaptive method. Also, it will also define the level of accuracy, the acceptable range of accuracy of your estimating durations for your activities, the unit of measurements that will be used, whether you will be using hours or days or weeks or calendar days during this project when you're scheduling your project. Also, It will also define the frequency you as a project manager that you will have to update on the status, and also update the project schedule plan, and also the controlling threshold, the escalation paths, the controlling the variation of the variation allowed before control actions to be taken, and how the escalation will happen, and any other report formats that will be used during this project. So this is a sample schedule management plan. You could see that it includes the schedule methodology that you are going to use, any scheduling tools that you are going to use during this project, the level of accuracy as we discussed, your unit of measure, the variance threshold, the controlling threshold that will be used to fire up any control activities, any formats that we'll be using, and so on and so forth. So this could be a reference template, an example template of a schedule management plan.